season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he'll hope that this is not a sign of what's in store as he has to fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Look at the starters defensively for the Dolphins. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
And they needed to be, because that game was a game you don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trenches. One play can make the difference type of a game, and they got it done.
He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. This is the tight end Fant. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here's Breida. Room to run past midfield. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers. You're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense. Holding. Because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
So So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They run with Breida. A check on Breida's numbers from last week. 14 carries, 128 yards.
But this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 34. You were telling me this yesterday. It's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. The perennial Pro Bowler Aaron Donald gets the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. On 2nd down, it's Nash. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the 1st round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
They have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff. The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. From 4 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. On for the point after is Randy Bullock. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. A 10-play drive that time. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
second down now. Kendrick. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Prescott now. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Running right, here's Sanders. Fighting his way through contact. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line. Looking to throw. Prescott under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Prescott now from the 50. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Well, a nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
On 1st and 10, Alonso. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. Alonso. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. In for the score. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, they'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game.
And he's going to go down run again.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down. Went backwards. It's third and very long. He'll get this one into the hands of Lewis. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A heck of a play there on third down, but amazingly, they're still short for fourth.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Breida. He's got a first down past the 30. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Matt Breida, 85 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And it's now 21-0. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak Prescott. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott. And a throw right sideline is complete. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on second down. Prescott. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Prescott now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And again, it's Prescott to the goal line, but it's incomplete. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. They'll throw again. Prescott. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Noah Fant in the final seconds of the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This one taken just inside the 10. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And some space here. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed. And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Here we go. Set. 30 days. Let's go. Ready.
To throw on second down. Alonso. Looking left sideline. It's complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind. Because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll run with Sanders. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good.
Let's go. Let's go.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Right back to Sanders on first down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but now from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Throwing. Prescott looking for Cooper. That's complete. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Nash. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Throwing again. Alonso. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. And it's caught by Parker. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin 1st down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
2 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Nash. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll keep it on the ground. Nash. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Okay, Frank. 50 Cent.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Nash, and able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
It doesn't take a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Alonso. And that will be incomplete.
This defense can use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will extend the lead out to 24. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
It's a second down run with Sanders. He'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Prescott from the gun on third. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
I'm going back to you.
Fourth down, Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Get off the field, defense.
Throwing to start the drive. Alonso, he's going to take a shot right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Prescott. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Prescott now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Prescott. And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And then find his target, Woods. It's complete. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. 1st down, Prescott. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. Prescott going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. And an alley to run. 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Once again with Sanders. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Miles Sanders. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos cut into that lead. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and it converted a 2nd time for 6 points.
And the Dolphins are going to recover. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now it's Breida. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season.
And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Here's Prescott. Right after the turnover, they come out front. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or 2 shy of midfield.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10, just shy of midfield. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Prescott to throw it. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
Go. Go.
Third and long for Prescott. He's got Lewis. Past the 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos get a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's got his man on the crossing route. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Alonso, wide open receiver, complete. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room doing it. but
that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The extra point hitting the right upright, but it caroms home. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for the Dolphins, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, the early struck